years.
Okay, we're going to take a little closer look at this RCA 87K radio outside in the daylight, because I'm getting ready to remove the chassis from the actual cabinet, and I'm going to have to pull the knobs off, and there's some little bitty screws in that bezel that I got to get out. I'm pretty sure this is the original grill cloth, which is in pretty bad shape, so I'm going to have to get some more grill cloth for it. If anybody knows where there's a very close reproduction to this pattern, please let me know, because I'd like to keep it looking as close to original as possible, but that is pretty well shot down there. I'm out of breath because I just got through running up and down my stairs, but so here's the back. I don't know if that's the original cord or not. It's still pretty soft and supple. I don't think it is though. That looks newer than the radio. Pretty sure this is 1937. So let me get you on a tripod. We'll start taking this thing apart so I can start stripping this cabinet. I'm going to start by taking this faceplate off if these little screws come out. I'm outside because I'm not carrying this cabinet in until I get it completed. It's going to get stripped out here, and it's going to get finished out here. So these are little flathead screws, like wood screws, that have a slight curvature to the top of them. They're actually in pretty good shape. They're not rusty. This is a plastic bezel and it doesn't look cracked, so I'm going to try and keep from cracking it. I'm pretty sure that's glass there and not plexiglass. So if I can keep this all intact. Oh, missed one in the middle. One up there in the middle. Okay. Looks to be in pretty good shape. A little bit spread right here on the edge, but I think that this is going to be fine. I just got to protect that. Alright, now let's see if we can get these knobs off. The bezel in there looks awesome. Looks perfect. I don't see a thing wrong with it. That one's good. I got to film this one stripped out because it's just spinning. There's that one and that one. Actually, Larry did a 87T tabletop exactly like this. Larry at Back to the Future radios, and his was broken here and epoxied. This is not broken, so I'll have to figure out. I think there should be a metal spring in there that holds that from turning, and I don't see that. That's probably why it's spinning. So that's good, because I was hoping it wasn't going to be broken, and it's not. There's a better look at the eye tube right there. Alright, let me spin it around and we'll take the chassis out. Alright, we're going to get the chassis out. It's missing, I think, the original screws. It's got two big flathead screws right here. I know that's not original. To my knowledge, it's not original. That's it. That's all it's holding it in. felt like there's some sort of a latch in the front that it was snapped into. Speaker wire, I unplugged it. That's it. Alright, now we can focus on the speaker itself. Looks like it's 1/4 inch screws, but unfortunately they're super long, so I can't get my nut driver on them. Hopefully I can get them off. Here would be 5/16 thread. Little walk washers on there I didn't see originally. Now I see them, so I'll get them off there. Get this last one without the speaker falling out on me. I'm hoping I can just support it and then just pull it out. Like that. Speaker looks to be in pretty good shape. I don't see any tears in it, so that's good. What I see down here is it's got some sort of a guard of some sort. It looks like this piece of wood holds that grill cloth in and holds the top portion of this guard in here, which is kicked out, which probably has something to do with why that grill cloth is all destroyed down there on that. Something probably hit this at some point in time. I'll go ahead and remove that piece of wood right there off camera. Okay, I got that speaker mount out of there. It's basically a piece of 1/2 inch plywood, and then where the grill goes, that looks like it's just cardboard, and that's where it's bent. I originally thought it might be fiberboard, but when I bent it up, it just looks like corrugated, so that won't be hard to replace. I'll get that on out of there, and we'll get this thing up on some sawhorses or something. Okay, I figured before I put this thing up on sawhorses, let's take a little closer look at what damage I'm going to have to fix on this. So the first thing I noticed was right here on the top. The veneer is loose and missing piece. I'll have to put a piece in that, cut that out and put a piece in that. Other than that, it looks okay, especially on the curved line. A lot of these start blistering and pulling apart on the curvature, and this one's not doing that. The can't think of the model number. The one I have in my bedroom that I completely redid was that way, and I managed to salvage it. This should all clean up. I got a little bit of veneer separation right here. I think I can probably glue that piece down because it's not missing, it's just kind of apart. Same down here. We've got some separation going on down here. Should be able to glue that back down. Inside's a little bit different story. The inside's missing a big chunk, and it's all separated, buckled. I don't know if you guys can see that in the lighting or not. Big buckle. Other side looks pretty good. I don't see any separation on the other side. I'm not sure what I'll do with that. Looks like the glue blocks are in pretty good shape. Nothing looks like it's coming loose. Got some sort of red glue That looks pretty good. Let's go down the side here. This side looks pretty good. Front looks pretty good. I see some little bit of separation right here. Bars aren't broke. That looks good. Bottom doesn't look horrible. So all in all, pretty good. Kind of a weird looking surface here. It almost looked like a little bit of a faux finish, but I'm not positive if it is or not. All I know is looking at this is this all looks like it was lighter. This piece looks darker. Matches the bottom, which is darker. The bars don't look darker, but I'll have to get some better pictures up to be able to see. But this is probably more representative of the original color right here, and you can see it's much darker than this. So I'll probably try and get a good picture of that so I can try and replicate this finish. Alright, let me see if I can get it up on the blocks. Okay, so my plan is not to strip this whole thing on camera and bore the living daylights out of you guys, but I did want to show you what I do use. I find that if I use lacquer thinner, I don't have to worry about any of the finishing reacting with me because I finish with lacquer. So I use lacquer thinner. Lacquer thinner pretty much cut anything except a urethane clear coat. But lacquer thinner also evaporates real quickly, so I mix it 50-50 with acetone. So that's what I'll be using. I've got some more lacquer thinner here. I actually bought a gallon today. I didn't realize I still had some in my cabinet. But it's cheaper to buy it by the gallon. I think I paid $11.99 for a gallon, and these were like $5.99 when I bought those. This I bought today was $5.99. The gallon of acetone was like $20, and I didn't feel like spending that much money today. So I decided I'm going to do the top while it's standing up before I lay it down. And then I just use a combination of 4/0 steel wool and rags to get the finish off. I'll show you that process. Once I get my acetone and stuff mixed up, I'll turn you back on and show you guys that. And then I'll do the top and we'll come back. Okay, I got my acetone and lacquer thinner mixed up. Make sure you always wear gloves. Make sure you're always in a well-ventilated area. I'm doing this outside. When I do it in my garage, I have a respirator on. Since I'm outside, I'm not going to wear a respirator today. Make sure you don't use a plastic container. I will use a combination of the rag and the steel wool. Put it on here. Just kind of let it sit there for a second. Let it do its job, and we'll just kind of start rubbing with the steel wool. And even with the acetone in there, it will still dry fairly quickly. And I do that, and I'll use the rag to kind of wipe off the finish, which is now kind of a gook. And you do that, and you just repeat. Put it on there. When you do this, it leaves you a very nice, clean surface for which to apply your finish. It'll dry nice. And it works fairly quickly. Let me get this off so you can see. And we'll continue here. And then when I get this top stripped completely, I'll bring the camera and show you. You don't want to not use enough thinner. Lacquer thinner is doing the work. I'm not sanding it off with the steel wool. I'm basically letting the lacquer thinner do its job. I'm applying it with the steel wool, but the actual lacquer thinner is what is taking the finish off. I don't like using chemical strippers. Most of them have to be neutralized with water of some sort, and then it can raise the grain on the wood. And the lacquer thinner won't do that. When I go to get into the finer details, I actually have some fine wire brushes that I'll be using. Alright, so there's that. Let me hit this side right here, and I'll show you what we got. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not mashing hard. I'm just letting the lacquer thinner do its job with the steel wool. And that acetone is keeping it liquefied long enough to not evaporate until it does it. If you have any stubborn spots, you can just put some on there and let it set like that while you go ahead and work on another area, like this piece here in the front. It basically just kind of melts away the old finish. Broken piece of veneer is going to be a pain for me, isn't it? Alright, let me get my gloves off and show you what we got. Okay, so if I come up close here now, you can see the streak right there. That's because it's not completely dry yet. I'm not sure how well the lighting is for you guys. Let me see if I can tip this up and light some. But you can see I didn't get that end on that. Forgot that. But it does a good job. So let me go ahead and do the rest of this thing, and I'll bring you guys back. Alright guys, I've been at it for probably an hour and 15 minutes maybe, and it's about 90% done. I've got the top, the front, the sides all stripped. As you can see, the only thing I really have left to strip is the bars down the center. That grain on the front's actually pretty nice. I got that side over here down low stripped, but when I was doing this up here, I didn't put it on workhorses, so I just left it vertical. What I put up here kind of ran down there, so I still got to get that. But basically the 3 vertical bars and the bottom cleaned up, and from that section over stripped. But it's starting to get dusk, even though it don't look it through the camera here. It's getting close to dusk, so I'll come out tomorrow and finish stripping it, and we'll show you what it looks like then. So until tomorrow, that's where I'm stopping it with the stripping. Like I said, I probably got an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half in this total. So one thing you do want to keep track of is your lacquer thinner will evaporate a little bit faster than the acetone. So if it starts not working, add some more lacquer thinner, because it probably evaporated out and you only have acetone left. But it works really good. We'll come back. Okay everybody, so it's all stripped, completely stripped. Now I can take it down into my workshop and work on the veneer where I need to. I'll give you a little bit close up look at it. It's completely stripped. It's got bare wood on there now. I think it looks pretty darn good already. Obviously we need to fix this, and obviously we need to fix this one right here. But other than those, and the gluing of the insides, I'm pretty happy with it. I'll be shooting the inside brown when all's said and done. But yeah, the lacquer thinner combination works really well for stripping, and then you don't have to worry about reactions afterwards. I think this is going to look pretty good when I get it toned and re-cleared.